I just arrived in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. This is my 22nd country back in 2012. I've been through Sharjah Airport to get to India. I've been through Dubai Airport to get to Nepal. And I've been through Abu Dhabi Airport to get to Malaysia and Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. But I've never really seen anything of Abu Dhabi. I've seen a bit of Dubai in a day I had here. But it's my first proper time looking around Abu Dhabi because last time I just spent all of my layover at the airport. It was pointless because it was a early morning landing from Serbia and then a afternoon flight to Bishkek. But I've got an early morning flight tomorrow and I'm staying at a hostel in the North Abu Dhabi and beaches, so I've got to get 2 buses to get there. And then I have to get out to the Abrahamic Faith house today before it shuts. It should be open until late evening. It is Shabbat, so it should be a Shabbat service maybe. And it's also the start of Ramadan today, so Ramadan Mubarak. Yeah, I enjoyed my time in Muscat. It was really lovely, really beautiful. Had a great 2 days there, had a good look around town. Saw the forts, all the palaces, saw the big mosques. I only went to one fort for 3 Omani Riyal, but Oman is so beautiful. I want to go back there as soon as I can and do an overlanding trip to Salalah and onto the Yemeni border. But for now, I'm going to focus on the UAE. So to get to my hostel, the tickets should cost me 6 AED, Emirati dirham. But the driver just let me go for free this time, which is good because I don't have a transport card yet and I didn't see anybody selling them at the airport. I mean, in Oman, they don't take card payments, they only take cash. But the funny thing is they have like this card reader thing for any of those transportation cards. So I'm like, okay, if you got that, you could also figure out like to take debit cards like what we do in London. It's nice and hot here, nice and warm. Packed away my woolly clothes, but I'll have to put them back on tomorrow when I get to Jerusalem. About to pull into the bus station, and then if I want to save myself a few more Emirati dirham, I will walk. But the weather's about 24 degrees, it seems a bit hot. I still haven't eaten since I got off the plane. I need some food, I need to change some money, I want to change at the airport because it's rip-off rates. So it's taken, well, roughly an hour to get from the airport to the city centre. But then, like, I've got to go down that way, and then I've got to go west to where the hostel is, and then I have to go east to the prayer centre. Oh, I don't know if there's a bus stop or not. You know, oh no, it's a bus station for everybody else is getting off. Oh gosh, I twisted my foot in the bloody pavement. Yes. So, I'm in downtown Abu Dhabi. Just got off the bus there. Fortunately, the Wi-Fi, I haven't really found much strong Wi-Fi around the city centre. And yet again, Leica Mobile doesn't provide me squat. Please don't say, oh, get an eSIM, get a SIM card. I'm like, dude, my iPhone isn't up to that, okay? I gotta be getting iPhone 10 if I want to be doing this eSIM business and all. But as my future travels, I'll probably have a powerful iPhone that will allow me to use eSIM, so there'll be no more BS of having to screenshot my Google Map routes, because every time I try to use Google Maps while out and about, it closes and I lose my route. But I always say download maps offline because that's the best bet, especially if you're going to a place like Eritrea or North Korea where Wi-Fi is nothing. So I just spent roughly £7 on 2 pieces of chicken, rice, drink, and a ubi cheese sundae at Jollibee. That's roughly the same price I'd pay in London. But the more I tend to eat Jollibee, the more I really want to get to the Philippines. So to save my money, I guess I'll have to stop eating at Jollibee for a while, and then once I get to Manila, it'll be Buttonsworth. Yeah. So I'm only about a mile or two away from my hostel. I really want to get to the Faith House after I check in. I don't know what time it's going to close. It probably closes at 7, but it's like longer daylight hours. It's the start of Ramadan today. Not much restrictions in eating in public, but just say, just don't eat in public. Not to offend people, but Ramadan only just starts tonight. So anyway, Wizz Air, they now fly from a few major European cities like Budapest, Bucharest, Sofia, Belgrade, Rome, to Abu Dhabi. There's no flights from London to Abu Dhabi on Wizz Air, so you have to, seems like you have to go to Eastern Europe to get a mega cheap flight to Abu Dhabi. But I must tell you, I have flown Wizz Air to Abu Dhabi 2 years ago. Not really good airline, but I just do it because it just lowers my costs. And I was able to get on to Bishkek, because from Abu Dhabi you can get to places like Bishkek, Tashkent, Samarkand, Almaty, Astana. You used to be able to get to Maldives, but it's not flying to Maldives. You can get to Sri Lanka with Air here. Even Iraq, even Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Armenia, Azerbaijan. Abu Dhabi is a good base to get to different nations around Asia and Africa. Lviv, Israel, my 150th nation, and I'm so proud to be coming to Israel because I thought, okay, do I spend a week between Israel and Jordan? Then I thought, no, wait, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit and just go to a few Gulf nations. But then I was supposed to actually fly tomorrow back to Amman, Jordan, and I was like, I really don't want to pay 40 quid to get back into Jordan for 2 days, and all I see is just Amman, and I got no chances of going onto Israel because the border closes during Shabbat, and the amount of times I have with all these fees and stuff. So when you cross the Israeli land borders with Jordan, it just becomes a lot more expensive and also really restrictive. You need to already have a Jordanian visa to cross the Allenby Bridge border, but the Allenby Bridge border is the most expensive border to cross. Other borders in the north and south of Israel aren't so bad, but also politics-wise, Israel doesn't stamp passports anymore, so there's no need to worry about that. But you just need to worry about, let's just say, crossing into Jordan or Egypt, because that could be a dead giveaway if you get one of those stamps. Because I got a future trip. I want to get to Algeria with a friend of mine, but I'm kind of really backing down that I want to go to Ceuta and Melilla and a bit of north of Morocco instead of Algeria, because Algeria has a visa requirements. I would love to go to Libya to honor my great uncle who fought in World War II, but Libya has an e-visa system that surprisingly you can travel independently, but it's not really feasible to travel independently. You really need to have a guide to be shown around and all those restrictions. So that doesn't really suit well with me, because I've never ever had to need a guide to any of the countries I ever went to. I'm not that type of person, but if I do go to Bhutan or I do go to North Korea, yes, of course, I'll go on a tour. I'll go on this guide, because that's the only way to get in. Although North Korea, you could easily get in on the DMZ and mark that off. So, if you were to ask me, would you consider moving to the Gulf or moving to the UAE? And my 100% answer is a firm fat no, okay? I really do not like this hot weather, even though I grew up in Australia. This is much more hotter than my life in Australia. I couldn't really care what the weather is in the United Kingdom. I couldn't really care that this is a tax-free zone. I like paying taxes and also like getting money back at the end of the year. And I just don't understand, most of the people who come here, they don't become Emiratians because it's a hard process to become. You have to have many years of living here until you get that Emiratian passport. Unless you pay a lot of money, but then again, you're naturalized as Emirati, but then you're not really considered Emirati because, well, Emiratians are mostly Arabs. And so it's being a third world, and moving to the United Kingdom, and you become a British citizen, you are then called British, no matter what your ethnic background is. My cousin Lisa Her husband still works in Qatar, and he's also worked in Kuwait, so they spent many years living between Qatar and Kuwait until 2011. The whole Arab Spring kicked off, and nothing really major happened in Kuwait, but they eventually just moved to Scotland. But then my cousin Lisa, her husband, still works over here every now and then in Qatar, so it seems like, yeah, it is kind of good money to come on over to the Gulf States and work, even if you have a base in the United Kingdom. See, look at McDonald's, 12 dirhams for a burger, small fries and Coke. And considering I paid, what, to 28 dirham for that meal at Jollibee. So I got 55 dirham today from exchanging the rest of my Omani rial. So it seems like Oman and Kuwait and Bahrain have really powerful currencies and really rich and valuable, even though the countries are quite expensive. I got 88 dirham off 20 quid, exchanged, not at the airport, but an exchange shop here. I was expecting 90, but it was like, scale it down. But it's much better than the airport rates, I tell you that. Yeah. So I'm spending about 55 dirham to stay in a dorm bed tonight at this nice hostel. Beach is over there. And I had a free bus ride today, so it's only going to be about 6 dirham to get a bus back to the airport tomorrow morning. So like, I'm keeping my costs low. Like, I'm not going out and seeing any bands on this tour, because I mean, all the time they're going to do these concerts in the Middle East. I mean, could you imagine if Dream Theater was to play a gig in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, whatever you call it? I'd go there at the drop of a hat, but honest to God, I'd like to see Dream Theater in Israel one day, because I've seen Dream Theater in both Oceania, Australia, and Europe. And as you say, on Yom Kippur and at Passover next year in Jerusalem. So fingers crossed Dream Theater does come to Tel Aviv this year. I don't expect them to. I know they're coming to Europe middle of this year. I'm not going to see them because they're all those festival dates. I've already seen them, like the first cab off the rank at the O2 last year, so that was fantastic. Now normally when I just go for hostels, I don't really think much about areas. I just literally just pick what the cheapest is. Hope it's got good reviews. If it does, yes, yay, it's a plus. If it has crap reviews, it's a nay. So it doesn't really seem quite pleasant neighborhood upstairs, but I guess that's how some neighborhoods of Abu Dhabi are. But yes, as you said, hostel, it was like a beach house, because I mean there's beaches north there in Abu Dhabi, but I don't really have much time for the beach today. I've got to get to a prayer house soon. Yes. I promised one of my pro-Israeli friends that I would go to the Abrahamic house today and see the Shul, Mosque and Church sitting side by side. It's a bit east that way, so depending on traffic, it might take me like half an hour or so to get there. Just all depends, but I think it might take over an hour for like buses. Just riding out to the Abrahamic Family faith house. It's gonna close at 5, so just have to. Glad I got myself an Uber there. There's no way, there's no way for buses. So I'm here inside the synagogue as part of the Abrahamic Family Center. Really beautiful, this stone built. It's only been open for less than 2 years or so. Got the Ten Commandments up there in Hebrew, and the menorah. And I'm pretty sure there'll be a Shabbat service today, as it is Friday, and then tomorrow is Shabbat. But I am so blessed as a man of Ashkenazi Jewish descent to pray here in Abu Dhabi This is my second shul I've visited in the Middle East after the one in Bahrain, and it just makes me like tear up with happiness. Baruch Hashem. So they have a mikveh right here, which is used in ritual blessings. Like when someone converts to Judaism, they'll dunk themselves in the mikveh and make a blessing. And also women who have had their period, they go to the mikveh after 7 days to be purified. And then over here there's a house of study. Unfortunately this is all closed off.